Hello and welcome to another episode of That's Dota. We're joining the guys in the Sekrit Forum here as they go into captain's mode against a random team. We're coming straight out of a previous match, and interesting enough, the first ban we see is Nature's Prophet, and this is due because if you watched the last game you would have seen how effective that Nature's Prophet is. I'm Gus, and today I'm still joined by Mark.
Hello.
So the guys obviously they reeling after that. They wanted to get straight into another game, and we see the first pick coming out is going to be the way of the Clockwork. And Clockwork is in my opinion, he's such a fun hero to play.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, Hookshot is an absolutely great ability. And he's an interesting hero in the sense that he has both the ability to gank or team fight. So a well-placed hookshot and a power cogs can be extremely good in the team fight. Or if you want to start picking out singles heroes, you level up your battery assaults and your rocket flare and you hookshot in, you cogs and you trap someone. Really good, I find, in the off lane, playing against players who don't really kind of get how dangerous power cogs and battery assault is. I mean, you tend to be, you're fighting in your lane and stuff, and you're at half health, but it doesn't matter because you're up against a solo Clockwork, and then he cogs you in and battery assaults, and your supports can't help you, and then you end up feeding first blood.
Definitely. And we see an Abaddon pick come out, and Abaddon is a hero that I haven't actually seen that much in the captain's mode environment, but he is such a strong support, or he can't even semi-carry, and really interesting skills he actually has on him with the miscoil and that aphotic shield. And aphotic shield is something that you have talked about in the past, is that you really like it in the fact is that it's so good for removing debuffs.
Yeah, I mean, aphotic shield is unbelievable. I think it's a purge as well as a shield. So, for example, if someone, say a Bat Rider initiates on you and lassoes you, someone, Abaddon can come in and purge that person being lassoed, and that ends the lasso. That's it, done. But also it acts as the same kind of, like, you'd see being used like with Tree and Protector. So he's effectively an anti-fun hero if it allow me. He stops kills pretty much. You know what I mean? If someone's getting dived on, aphotic shield and a miscoil will help that person. And also he's really good against not so much inexperienced players, but players who aren't fully kind of experienced, because they'll just go in the first hero they can see. And if you bait with an Abaddon, you pretty much have two lives. You're like a Skeleton King. So if everyone blows something on you at the very start, and then you start charging back up, and the rest of your team comes in to help, he can be used nicely in that. And it'd be interesting to see, like, for example, he's a really dangerous hero for, like, say, Clockwork. If Clockwork hooks in and catches an Abaddon, that's the last hero you want to catch with a hookshot, for example. So it'd be interesting to see if these guys are kind of baited by the Abaddon at all.
And even just taking a look at the bans that are coming out, obviously the Magnus is obviously a good shout, because with that RP he can pull the Clockwork out of that, the cogs, or you can even just try and charge out. Then we see the Viper ban out. It's such a strong hero to go against in the mid. But then we see the kind of the anti-initiation is there, so we have the Naga Siren. Either they can set it up or they can prevent something from happening. So you get something like the Dark Seers, that can be set up really well with the Naga Siren. You can drop that wall a bit earlier, and you can set up that vacuum to catch as many heroes. And we were discussing just before we actually started the cast, is the Life Stealer wasn't actually banned out. And this is kind of what you can see happening, is that if you pick up a Life Stealer, who's good against Life Stealer? Bane.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see Lifestealer getting through not one but two stages of bans. If you kind of look back over our videos, you'll very rarely see that. He's usually either first ban or first pick. He's falling out of the pro scene quite a bit now. The nerf to open wounds is getting greater and greater, and so he doesn't have that really early game threat that he had maybe like 2 or 3 months ago. But I mean, he's still a vicious hero, and I think they might have missed the trick not banning him in the second phase, because they knew that they were going to give the next pick away, and he's never really a hero you want to come up against. But I mean, Bane's a good pick against him. Bane's a great pick against a lot of these heroes, really.
And even on the kind of the flip side is that they picked up that Ancient Apparition pretty early. This is what we even discussed this before we started as well, as we did feel that we were going to see a John Carey coming out, and that's him right there. But you take the Ancient Apparition into consideration with the Bane. If Bane gets his Nightmare off and Ancient Apparition gets his ult off, that Lifestealer, when he comes out of the Nightmare, he can no longer lifesteal. He's pretty much useless in that sense. Is that his whole purpose is that he gets his attack damage up and his attack speed, and he just lifesteals so quickly. But if he can't heal, what can he do? He's just going to die.
Yeah, and this is also a really good lane up against the Darkseer. I think if it's going to be what I think we're going to see, so we'll probably see a mid being picked up here now last. I imagine it's going to be Clockwork in the off, and then we're going to have an Ancient Apparition Bane and Alchemist tri-lane. And if that comes up against the Darkseer off lane, I mean, this is such a good tri-lane to have up against the Darkseer, who's notoriously hard to kill. But basically what you do is, you just catch him in a Nightmare, Alchemist charges up his stun, while Cold Feet is put down in the ground, and that should really be a dead Darkseer.
10 seconds to go.
I think it's going to be hard. I think we're going to see kind of growing pains when they start doing this tri-lane, is that Nightmare is fantastic, but it is pretty long when you take into consideration that you need to have the Cold Feet coming out. So what I would like to see is the initiation from the Bane with the Nightmare, followed up by the Alchemist stun, and lastly the Cold Feet coming out, because that's what's going to keep him in position. And as you say, like, Surge is so good for getting away, but if they bait out that the actual the Surge, like you've said in the past, is they're going to get the kill on him.
Yeah, it's an interesting tri-lane as well, but I mean, Abaddon is a great defensive tri-lane hero. He keeps heroes alive, as we said before, and I imagine that's what they're gonna do with the Lifestealer. But then you have Lion, who's kind of who's kind of a strange one, because I mean, you're putting up all these heroes up against probably an off-lane Clockwork, and you really have only one hero with the setup, which is Lion, and then you have to feed that into Open Wounds. I mean, I think Open Wounds has gotten nerfed so much now that you can't really count it as a setup until it's leveled up properly, until the range goes up. But then, yeah, we're going to see a puck then picked up mid, as we were expecting. So it's an interesting tri-lane. I mean, I think the Clockwork should be fairly safe. He needs to play cautiously enough, but I don't think. Number one, they don't have the setup to catch him, and if they manage to catch him, I don't really think they have the damage to do anything about him. So I think the tri-lanes, if indeed we are going to see two tri-lanes here, I think the tri-lanes are definitely favouring the Sekrit guys.
The only thing is, though, kind of to counter your point, I suppose, is you have the initiation from the line with the stun, and you have the Open Wounds for the slow. But if this Abaddon skills up his what's it called, the Curse of Avernus, that's a stacking slow, so that's going to keep him in position even longer.
Yeah, but I mean, as an Abaddon, you're never really gonna skill your Curse of Avernus first. I mean, your Aphotic Shield and Mistcoil are so much more important. Curse of Avernus is a passive that you pick up kind of in the later levels.
Yeah, definitely. Well, going through the lineup at the moment on the Radiant team, if you want to go through the lineup there.
Yeah, sure. So on the Darkseer we have Sirius Sem. On the line we have Priest. On the Invoker mid, we have Geo Goi. On the Abaddon, we're going to have Zero IX. And then finally, typical, finally on the Lifestealer, we have Q3DM6.
Yeah, that's exactly how you pronounce it. Well, jumping over to the dire side, we said, as we assumed that we were going to see, we see the DJ Meister coming up on this Alchemist. On the Clockwork, we have Hela Bakunin. On the puck going mid, we do see Haberdashery Dancing. On the Ancient Apparition, we see Larendor, and finally on the Bane, we see Sweet Marks. Now, I don't know how long this pause is going to be, but it's going to kind of give us a chance to take a look at how these lineups are going to go. As we expected, it is going by the way the Dire. They are doing exactly what we said, and it looks like it is going to be the same for the Radiant. So we're going to see tri-lane against offlane. I'm more afraid of the tri-lane, as you said before, on the Dire. I think they're going to make kills happen a lot earlier, and when you take a look at the heroes that the Radiant have, if that Alchemist gets early kills and early levels and early gold, he's going to ball out of control, so much so that the Lifestealer won't be able to catch up.
Yeah, it's going to be. I think Alchemist, now that he doesn't get the massive health bonus with the chemical range, that kind of is a nice little counter to Lifestealer as well. So that's to keep in mind. But I think they really have quite a lot of counters. The Dire have for the Radiant. I mean, the puck silence is going to really hurt the team fight. So if he can catch that on an Invoker, a Darksphere, and a Lion, for example, I mean that's absolutely huge. Then you have obviously the Bane, who's going to neutralize quite a lot of those heroes. And even when his ult is down, Enfeeble on the Lifestealer is going to be quite potent. Can you rage that off? I wonder. I'm not sure. If you put that on.
I don't think so.
I'm sure we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But you tend to you've played Invoker a hell of a lot more than me. But take a look at his item build and tell me what you think. Were those wards? They were built in. Yeah, they were given to him by Priest, but you've seen before is that he has gone for an Exort build, but you've said before is that generally you'd have a Blades of Attack, or you'd have some regen of Blades of Attack to try and rush towards something.
No, I was actually arguing against that. That was very popular, kind of before 6.79, but now I think I think it's kind of being argued now that he doesn't really need to rush towards phase. I think you're much safer getting a balanced build, and he has gone balanced. I'm not sure about the stout shield. I mean, he's going to be up against only the one hero. It's going to be a puck, so it's going to reduce even less damage. I think it's a very, very odd pickup, really. But I mean, the rest of the stuff is good. Branches. Instead of that stout shield, I might have gone something like circlet, maybe, or mantle, perhaps. Yeah, but I think rushing the blades isn't a good build. Interesting enough, it looks like he's going to go Quas Exhort. He's put one in Exhort. I think he probably would have been a bit better going for is it called Wex? I think it's you max Wex anyway. And basically what that allows you to do is put down the EMP. And the EMP got changed in the 6.79, and what that does now is it drains mana and gives you mana. Which is huge for Invoker, who's obviously all the abilities he has. He's an extremely mana hungry hero. And also it would really help out if you could drain mana from the Dire have quite a lot of mana intensive heroes, but he's gone Exhort, so that'll be Forge Spirits, it'll be Cold Snap, it'll be Sunstrike, which I think everything Puck is fairly able to deal with all of that stuff. I definitely give Puck the advantage in this lane.
Yeah, Puck is one of those heroes that especially in the pro scene, you've seen just how much damage he can actually do mid, and finally he's after getting a slight advantage there. It was the Deny Wars, but Puck is just starting to get his last hits out now. And this is what we're going to see up top, is we're actually going to see what you've talked about before is in tri lanes, that unless you're pushing the enemy hero completely out of the lane, you're not doing your job. You can even see that Larendor was up so far ahead just keeping that Darkseer out of the lane.
Yeah, I mean, I think a really nice kind of tactic, and I've noticed a lot of pro players doing this now as well, is, well, not now, but I've just noticed it, they've always been doing it, you just stand in front of the creep wave. So obviously if you attack a hero, the creeps will aggro to you, and then you have a 2-second refresh. So stuff like attack denying yourself and then attacking a hero within that refresh window is a great way of harassing without drawing aggro. But if that's too much for you, or if you can't get that down, just standing in front of the creep wave is just acting threatening will push. We were playing a game earlier today, and it was an anti-mage up against a drow, and I was supporting on Visage, and we just kind of right-clicked anti-mages at the start, and we were kind of hurting him and stuff. But then after that, I just didn't bother even right-clicking. I didn't want to draw creep aggro. I just stood in front of the creep wave, and anti-mage is too scared to come up and last hit. So that can be really, really effective.
There definitely is a lot of I suppose mind games involved in Dota. Is that if you kind of put the fear into heroes, you're going to push them out of the lane, even though they have nothing really to be afraid of. This Darkseer, his caution is warranted, is because if he gets even slightly out of position, he's going to lose his life. Like there's no two ways about it. There's so much lockdown potential with these three heroes, and there's a lot of good nuke damage. Like you get level 2, once that brain sap comes out, it is 90 damage, but it's a good way of just getting the kills.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting. If you look at the positions of the supports, this is in the tri lane. This is a position that we're used to seeing supports taking, which is obviously behind the guys getting the last hits. But you have to kind of wonder what is the point of that positioning? Why couldn't they just stand like where the ancient apparition is standing right now? Why couldn't they just stand there? Not attack, not draw any creep power, just stand there, just scare the crap out of the Darkseer. If you have a Bane standing there, that's a nightmare. So if the Darkseer comes anywhere closer,
we might see an initiation here, and that's the cold speed coming out, and that's this is what we're going to see. It's going to catch. Oh, it's just away. But you can see that the level 2 the brain sap came out, but they don't need to chase anymore. They've done the damage. They pushed them out of lane.
That was almost perfect. If you can get the Darkseer to surge before you use your stuns, that you've killed him. If you can land that stun, because once he comes out of the stun, he won't have surge to use, obviously. So that was almost perfect. The Bane was just too late on using Nightmare, and he was too close to the tower. If he had caught him immediately as he used surge, that definitely would have been the Darkseer. But I think we get the idea there of how they're going to initiate.
You can even see they should have the mana to kind of do it again. And the Darkseer he went from full health down to, I think, about 5%, just from kind of not even right-click damage. It was just their skills. Kind of Just taking a look at the last hits at the moment, the tri-lane that's coming down at the bottom, by the way, the Lifestealer, does seem to be a lot more beneficial, but it's when you take a look at the build the Alchemist has gone for, he does have that Grieval's Greed, so I kind of think, just looking at the gold graph, is at the moment it's favouring the Radiant, but as this Grieval's Greed really comes online, you're going to see that really turn in the favour of the Dire.
Yeah, and it's interesting actually to know, I mean, you see the Clockwork hasn't used a single one of his tangles. I haven't been keeping an eye on this bottom lane. But,
Illusion.
sorry, you might see an engagement here. No, I think it was just someone going for the rune. But I mean, the Clockwork obviously hasn't been harassed nearly as much as the Darkseer has. Now he has only 3 last hits, so obviously the Lifestealer has just been constantly just focusing on getting his last hits rather than harassing the Clockwork. But I mean, he's sentry warded the pole camp, and that's great. You just need to back up. Don't get too aggressive. Once you've sentry warded the pole camp, if Lifestealer's going for last hits, you know that wave is eventually going to push into your tower, and then that's your chance to get the last hits.
The unfortunate thing, sorry to correct you, but that's a Radiant sentry ward. The Clockwork, he did use an Absorber ward to block it, but I'm pretty sure they've even blocked that camp with that sentry.
They've blocked that camp. They've blocked their own camp.
Yeah.
Yeah. So same thing applies, just the wrong side.
Yeah, they need to get a Quelling Blade down their stat to get rid of that. But yeah, I think this is what we're going to see. This is a lot different than the last game we saw. We're not going to see as much early initiation, early damage, but once this Puck gets a couple of items up and that Dream Coil, I think he is going to move out of lane. It's not to the same extent of an Invoker. An Invoker, a good Invoker, I suppose, if he comes out of lane when he has kind of good skills up, he can be an absolute nightmare to deal with. But I just feel...
We're going to see Clockwork get initiated, sorry, on bot. He's going to be okay. Yeah, an Invoker is all about levels. Obviously, the more levels you have, the more times you can invoke, and the stronger your skills are going to be, because you have to level, Exhort and Cross and all that, and that reflects onto your skills, and the stronger they get. So he's all about levels, and I think that's why you see Invokers going Midas as well so much, because it'll give you those levels.
Speaking of Midas, we see a Midas coming out, by the way, the Lifestealer.
Yeah, I mean that should be okay. I mean, I think the two teams have relatively similar end games, so this will help the Lifestealer keep on par with the Alchemist.
Yeah, definitely. But I always think that the Alchemist just has such an edge because he has an inbuilt Midas. Well, not to the same degree, but we do see a rotation up top here. They possibly might be looking out to catch this Darkseer, and this is what they kind of need to be catching out. And there's, are they going to hit this? There we go. Perfect. And that's going to catch him out. Oh, he's just away. But there's the stun coming out. Do they have enough damage? Oh, and there we go. There's the first one going the way of the J-Meister. Not perfect initiation, but it's getting there. As I did discuss at the start, that it is kind of hard to time that. You see, the Nightmare is such a short duration earlier on, but they did well there.
Yeah, I mean, did that seem like 4 seconds to you? It didn't seem like 4 seconds to me.
I kind of think that maybe an auto attack came out that actually got rid of that.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that happened.
But yeah, I'm gonna either this Darkseer, he's gonna take that on the chin.
I'm gonna see a Midas in the Evoker now too.
Yeah. Either we're gonna see that Darkseer taken on the chin and realise that he got slightly out of position. He was very close to getting away, and he's going to stay in the lane, or he's just going to be, as we've talked about before, he's going to be afraid and he's going to sit back and use the Iron Shell to get his farm.
We're going to see an Invis Puck now roam bot. I don't know exactly what they can do here. They have, there's an Abaddon here.
I think
Line's
top,
only level 3.
Top possibly could have been a better pickup, but the only problem is that they didn't know when that Darkseer would have been coming back. They are looking to get initiation. Is the Clockwork? He's and that's great. They have to switch the bottle up, the Invis bottle up to get that.
Yeah, he's going to want his hook now.
Yeah, and we're going to see initiation coming here, but hopefully what they need to pick up is this Lifestealer. And there's the silence. There's the Dream Coil, and we just need to see the hook.
And Abaddon's running away.
Oh, unfortunately.
Tower is under siege.
Okay, they need to back now. They've missed a chance to back.
And we're going to see the stun coming out, possibly the way of the line. No, just an auto attack.
And it's off!
One of the interesting notes, and this is the kind of thing, I think the Lifestealer kept his head there, he didn't panic. He popped his rage and he just walked out of that Dream Coil.
Yeah, it's a nice counter to that. But I think if it had the hook landed, he has his cogs, he needs to use his cogs now. Now he needs to use them.
Is he going to pop them? He doesn't want to catch anyone. He does catch someone, but he's going to be able to just walk out of there.
And
that Sunstrike, it was good. It was a good plan, but the only problem is I think it was a little bit too late.
Yeah, I think he probably should have used it as soon as open wounds came out and just kind of trailed it in front of him a little bit.
Like, he knew he was going to be slowed, and more than likely that he was going to cog. So if he had just trailed it, as you say, a little bit ahead, he would have caught him, and that would have been a kill going the way. But kind of we're 8 minutes into the game, kind of taking a look at the gold. It still is in the favour of the Radiant, EXP as well as in the favour of the Radiant. But I don't really think it matters at this stage. Like, it's so earlier on, but that kill is going to really help out the J Meister. And once he gets up those few key items, like, I'm pretty sure he's going to go straight for his Shadow Blade, which is kind of his swan song. Is he's so happy to use that item. He does like to set up the stuns when it gets in, does the damage, and I think that's going to spell the damage coming out by the way the Darkseer as well, because it's going to be the John setting up the stun, following into the cold feet, following into the Nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing about this game, I suppose, so far, is that the lanes are going exactly as expected, except for mid. So, I mean, the tri-lane's winning the tri-lane top, the tri-lane's winning the tri-lane bottom, obviously,
Dyer's
but then mid, Invoker's absolutely
attack.
crushing Puck in terms of last hits and denies. I mean, Invoker's on 46 and 23, and Puck is on 10 and 6. And that's huge for Invoker. Now, obviously, he's a difficult hero to play, so, you know, he's not like a Viper where you get levels.
Oh, but we're going to see the damage coming out here. With the cold snap is still there. And that's a great Sunstrike. Yeah. And that's what you want to see coming out of this. The cold snap, like, I still think regardless of when he would have phase shifted, I think he was going to lose his life there.
No, what he should have done there was he should have orbed, then phase shift, and then shift to the orb. That would have saved him. If you just phase shift, like we're going to see Darkseer get initiated on here, the stun is being charged and it comes out again.
There we go. And that's the dead Darkseer.
But yeah, sorry, if you just phase shift, I mean, it's not going to do anything. You know, you solo phase shift. If you don't have Blink Dagger, the only reason you solo phase shift is if you're trying to dodge projectile. Otherwise, it's not going to do anything. It's just going to stop. You're not going to take damage for it just a little bit, but he's still going to be there when you come out.
We do see a rotation down, kind of switching up the lanes as the Ancient Apparition has come bot. Whether he just wants to try and get a 6 up and try and be a bit of more of a nuisance to this Lifestealer, I don't know. Or whether they're considering on this, we see the Puck coming down as well. It seems like they are considering changing these lanes up a bit. Smart move, I think. The lanes were getting a little bit stagnant in the form of mid anyway, but the only problem is they can't leave this Invoker just to farm up.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see now, because the Invoker obviously is taking a massive lead, and he's going to be, you know, the person obviously who can change this game, because the Alchemist and the Lifestealer are fairly similarly farmed. I think we're seeing an Ancient Apparition move because I imagine they're going to probably think about going on bot. Yeah, we're going to see a TP bot here as well. I mean, the Ancient Apparition, he was doing fine up top, but that Darkseer has been phased out sufficiently, and now Alchemist can solo farm really all he wants, and the Bane's still going to be there, so they could probably kill him with just the two of them. Ancient Apparition, I think, is here now to try and get a Lifestealer.
Dyer's middle tower has fallen.
I really think they need to wait for that 6. The Clockwork, I don't know if he necessarily need to show himself there, but him standing out in the jungle is a good idea, because it means that he can come in with the hook. The only problem is that when that Lifestealer, when he does rage, he can just walk away from the hook, even if it hits. I'm pretty sure it doesn't actually pull towards him.
Dyer's middle tower is under siege.
No, I think it does. If he hits Lifestealer with a hook, it'll pull towards him. It just won't stun him or do damage.
Oh, it is. It's any items, any enemies. And that's a great pickup. That's going to be.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't have. You think of the Dream Club coming out. Oh, and I don't know if he skilled. He didn't skill his ult, unfortunately. He did his level 6, but he should have skilled it up. He should have gone there.
Dyer's
and that's a great pickup by the Invoker
Again, brilliant by
what
has he done?
He didn't need to be there. He should have been gone.
No, he backed. Yeah. He backed to right-click the Lifestealer for some reason, and that's ended up getting him killed. I mean, yeah. I not to be harsh on him, but I just don't think he's using his orb enough. I mean, it's a great skill for initiating, fair enough.
Oh, we see a great initiation here on them. He's going to lose his life because it's the cold snaps coming out, the auto attack damage coming out, and yeah.
I've only actually noticed now that Lion hasn't picked up his Hex yet, which is absolutely insane. I mean, if you look at Earthspike, fair enough, you're getting 200 damage out of it, but you're getting a 2.02 duration. The first level in a Hex is a 2.5 duration, and that scales to 3, 3.5, and 4. It's a massive stun. So yeah, and 2 points of mana drain is really odd.
I don't know. It's kind of. I think it's a little bit of a greedy build. Is that Lion, because he's early on anyway, so mana dependent, is that if he gets up those points in the mana drain, it just means you can stay in the lane and be a little bit more effective. But as you said, that the Hex, even getting 1, for the sake of reducing his Earth Spike to 1.52 and 130 damage, he could have 2 lockdowns and still have his mana drain.
Yeah, but I mean, you say he needs mana, he does, but I mean, he's in a tri-lane against one hero. I mean, what's he using his mana on?
Yeah, exactly.
Really strange pickup.
We see a rotation up top now with the Abaddon, but John Muzzy's, or the Alchemist, he was pretty happy up there. We do see Gloves of Haste now. I've prematurely called this before that it was going to be a Midas, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be his Maelstrom.
Yeah, I imagine it's going to be a Maelstrom after the Shadow Blade. But I think if you take a look at the last hits now and just having a look at them, it makes bad reading if you're the Dire. I mean, there's one hero that's up with them, and that's an Alchemist who is going to go in here. A great hook on the line.
Oh, we do see the Sunstrike coming up, but it's not enough. And the wall, unfortunately. Oh, the great vacuum, but can he get away from it? He's away. Oh, and the great Fiend's Grasp on the Invoker. That's what they needed. They do see the AA comes out, does hit 2, and they're going to take down this Abaddon as well, but they need to stop attacking. He's fine. Oh, that's a good play. Using the Nightmare just to bait out that, let the damage come out. They just don't need to do anything to him. He does. Oh, and the Puck comes in with the Dream Coil, and that's 2 going away. And this is really going to help the Puck out, because Puck is so dependent on his farm that that's going to be a lot of gold going his way. That's nearly 500, nearly 600 gold going his way, so it's going to help him towards his key items, but all the while the Lifestealer was farming down bot.
Well, yeah, but I think that's absolutely massive for the Dire, like absolutely massive. The game was kind of stagnating into as I was saying, it was making for bad reading, because the last hits comparison is absolutely shocking. I mean, you have 68 on the Alchemist, but then after that it's 14 on the 15 on the Puck, which is just, you know, so far behind the Lifestealer, the Invoker, and the Darkseer. But I mean, those kills, you know, last hits are good, but kills are absolutely huge. And if they can do that a few more times, then really the early lane phase will, you know, become a distant memory quite quickly.
Yeah, and that was a great team fight up there. Like, I always kind of feel that these kind of thin avenues, like down here, like by the river where there's the 2 bridges coming up, they're always hard to kind of get to. Oh, and it's got initiation here.
Really good.
He is throwing out his Sunstrike, but it's not enough damage. The silence coming out, and he needs to focus them down, and they are going to get him. And oh, that's unfortunate. He did lose his life, but the Clockwork, I kind of feel is that possibly he could have lived there, but the Ice Wall coming up there is good, because it kind of kept the Puck there, did a little bit of damage, but just the right click coming out from the Invoker wasn't enough to finish off the Clockwork.
A tiny bit of mismicro there by the Puck, who his first right click, first I think landed on the Forge Spirit.
Tower is being attacked.
In fairness to him, there are quite a lot of people in that area, but I think if that first right click had landed on the Invoker, he would have died just before the Clockwork went.
Yeah.
But I mean, Clockwork now has just initiated that massive team fight up top and initiated the kill on the Invoker mid. So he's doing absolutely huge work now.
Yeah.
He's had a really tough lane. You can see 10 and 2. So obviously, you know, he's going to be massively underfarmed. But this is the beauty of Clockwork. He can be underfarmed and he can still set up kills for his team.
Yeah, he just needs to get up there, get in their faces, throw out the cogs, throw out the battery assault, and that's what he needs. That's all they need. Now it's interesting is now we're seeing 4v4. I kind of feel is that the Radiance 4v4 is a little bit stronger, only in the fact is that the Invoker has had that kind of better start mid. That's an initiation again. Oh, I don't know if he necessarily get in there. He's actually caught him. Oh, and they're away. Yeah, I don't know necessarily if the Puck needed to illusionary over in there. Oh, and Puck is good at. Oh, unfortunately, that's it. Oh, he's just away, but a miscoil coming out by the way, the Abaddon. Is he going to just turn and right click? And there we go.
Gonna go for this.
Oh,
go for it.
There we go. I don't know if he was really considering the fact is that there were Forge Spirits there. they'll attack you. Don't worry. The Invoker was controlling them.
A really, really weird fight there. I mean, the Alchemist initiated on the Invoker, but he'd walked through the Ice Wall, so he just couldn't get enough right clicks on him during the stun. Then the Invoker turned it on with Cold Snap into Forge Spirit, which is so powerful in the early game.
Dyer's top tower is under
Shadow Blade
siege.
into stun again. I probably think it would have been better if the Alchemist just left it there, but he did get the kill before the Invoker, so I mean that is something.
Yeah, but the Dire, they did lose out their courier there, so I didn't actually see if there's any key items on that courier at the moment. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's not actually going to delay their items at the moment. But we do see the J-Meister. He is getting quite close. Oh, I think his Mithril Hammer, possibly his Maelstrom, was on that courier.
That's huge.
That is huge, because that's such a key item on him, because it just increases his damage so much and it increases his farm potential. We do see initiation coming in here, by the way, onto this Darkseer. Are they going to be able to get the damage out? You see the Puck is coming in. He's going to Dream Coil. Doesn't need silence, and there's the damage. Oh, and a Yule Scepter. Oh, and the Dream Coil going in. Yeah.
Fingers up.
Finger. There we go.
Huge turn. That was massive.
pretty sure. No. Oh, hang on. No, it didn't. I thought for a second because the Darkseer had the aphotic shield up that it didn't actually give him the chilling touch, but it did. But yeah, strange plays there. I don't think they had any way of knowing that the rest of the team was there, but
in case
you should kind of take on the assumption that if I can't see the rest of the team, they're here.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, like, I think 9 times out of 10 everyone would have gone for that. The problem with the Darkseer though, you know, he's just so tanky. I mean, you know, he's quite a lot of armor, sitting at 15 armor at the moment.
Radiant's bottom
you know, he has a
tower is
mechanism
being
as well, so he's so difficult
maybe they're not
to burst
actually
down.
damaging it.
But that was just
No,
great
they
support.
are.
I mean, to have 2 heroes, Lion and Invoker, just so close to the
Radiant's
Darkseer when it's so
bottom
problem.
tower
We're going to see a
is
big dive
under
here.
siege.
Oh, and the Fiend's Grasp
Dire's
coming out there is
top
just going to
tower
burn
is
out that
being
rage. We see
attacked.
John coming back in with that now with the chilling touch and the stun. He should. Oh, yeah, I think leaving here is the safe
Back
option.
off.
is
Or
being
big
attacked.
TP.
Oh, did you see the TP coming in? Oh, and they're going to catch out here. Buck just needs to drop the Dream Coil. They just need to leave that Abaddon alone. That wall comes out as well. And that's a great wall because it caught about 3 or 4 heroes. That's a lot of damage going to where the John has channeled up that stun again. But unfortunately, he goes through the wall and he's stuck. And the hunt. These initiations are coming. Oh, and that's a great. That was so well timed. Like, so lucky they actually managed to get that away. We are going to see this. Oh, he does go down as well. And that's to the Forward Spirits again. We're going to see 2 going down to these Forward Spirits. Forward Spirits, he needs to get out of there. Dream Coil did come out, did do a lot of damage there. Caught out 2 heroes. They managed to dodge that stun coming out by the way the Lion. Is he? Oh, and he just shattered to the AA ult. Good team fight, good change.
No idea. Oh, that's a great play. Yes!
Oh, and he's away. Oh, he has no TP to follow this up.
No, but he does have a phase shift.
Oh, and they don't know where he is.
Oh, is it a phase shift now?
Phase shift! Oh, he does, and he's going to. Oh, unfortunately, but I think the Ion Shell actually went through that and did the damage.
No, he came back out in the...
Oh, and he's stuck. Is John gonna? John actually loses his life. Oh, Lounder, what is he doing? He doesn't need to be there. He needs to get out, and he's gonna lose his life here. To the only one who would do it is the Life Stealer, but he hasn't leveled up. Oh, he just managed to get it. I don't know necessarily if this Clockwork, if he needs to TP and he has no one to back him up. It's only him and Bane up at the moment.
Not really sure where the puck was going there when that whole chase began. I mean, he was running away from his tower on so little health. Really, he could have just orbed into the trees beside his tower, and he probably would have been fine.
Possibly we can put it down to panic. It's just when you are on that low health and you have a hero who can't escape, you can get a little panicky.
Tower has been destroyed.
Yeah, perhaps.
But the game is far from over at the moment. Like taking a look at the experience, or sorry, the gold at the moment is heavily favouring the Radiant, and that's because of those 2 minus builds. Experience is kind of, it's ping-ponging up and down between the 2, but it is in the favour of the Radiant at the moment, more than likely just because of that pick up here. You can't count out an Alchemist. Alchemist can come back into the game and he can get so scary. I think he just possibly has, taking a look at the courier here, yeah, we see the Mithraham is on his way out.
I think the problem here for the Dire is that they only have 1 farmed hero. I mean, their number 2 in Puck has, you know, still has brown boots. He still has brown boots in the bottle, like, and their number 3 in Clockwork has pretty much nothing as well. I mean, he's a treads. Oh, I imagine. Wait, sorry. I just noticed two mechanisms picked up by the Radiant. I was looking at the Clockwork items, and he has a headdress, and I was thinking that he was going mechanism.
That's a great
I noticed.
Once again. He's stealing your
Well,
eye.
what's better than having 2 heals?
Absolutely, yeah.
Having
But
3
I mean,
heals.
like, going back to my original point, I think the problem I think for the Dire here is that they only have 1 farmed hero, whereas the Radiant have about 3.
Yeah. Taking a look at that Puck, again, you're a kind of a Puck player yourself. Gloves of Haste, what is he considering going with this? Do you think that's going to be a Midas build? We see initiation come out by the way of the Clockwork here, but where are they going to be able to get anyone here? And we do see the initiation. Oh, and it's a great ult coming out. The only problem is the Life Stealer is there, and that's supposed to catch 3 heroes. We do see the. Oh, that's great play. The Invoker actually managed to use his Shield Scepter while he was being Fiend Scrapped, but they're going to lose. Oh, Puck does manage to actually use his Phase Shift there, and he manages to get away. These Forward Spirits have been an absolute nightmare in this game.
John's going to go back here.
Yeah, he is going back in. Is he going to get the stun off? Is the rage? Oh, and that's brilliant. He just managed the port. That's a huge pick up there.
The Puck's going to pick up his treads with that Gloves of Haste.
Oh, and they very nearly lose the Puck there too, those Forward Spirits. I have to say, I would never consider the Forward Spirits to be such a strong skill, but how many heroes has it killed? At least 3 or 4, and we nearly lost another hero there to them.
I mean, he's almost max Exhort Invoker, so the Forward Spirits are doing absolutely insane damage at the moment. You know, there's two of them, they're both attacking for 74 damage, and their attack speed is pretty good. And then when you combine that with Cold Snap, you're doing quite a lot of damage.
Yeah, definitely.
They are your most powerful skill in the early game in terms of damage, and then once you get a bit more levels in Exhort, it becomes easier into Deafening Blast, I think it's called.
Yeah, well, is it the Deafening Blast or Forceful Push? Hang on.
No, it's Deafening Blast.
It is Deafening Blast. There's no such thing as Forceful Push.
But yeah, I mean, you can see the Puck is sitting on 1,800, and like I was assuming he was going phase. Threads, but okay,
he may be caught out here. Oh, and that's way too early on that phase shift. He needs to throw it as Illusionary Orb, but he does have support here. I don't know who's going to take this.
No, he should not have gone in.
Yeah, they need to just leave. They need to leave. Oh, and he does catch up the Invoker, and that's good because he is. Has he used his? He hadn't used his Midas there, so that's a lot of wasted time on that Midas. We do see the Abaddon is coming in here, but I don't know if he's gone in very far.
No, it's not too much.
We do see a full rotation coming in here for the way of the entire team.
He's going to get out in the Abaddon.
Not the hero you want to hit.
Meantime, look at Lifestealer. Yeah, he's gone right in.
Fiend's Grasp should come out here.
Fiend's Grasp.
There we go. And that's a dead Lifestealer.
Puck is also probably going to die.
Yeah. Oh, he just managed to survive it. To use a really bad pun here, Bane is actually the bane of Lifestealer's existence. He just completely shut him down. John does.
Obviously, I mean, we saw at the very beginning that we saw the Bane come out after the Lifestealer, and you were saying that it's going to be a counter. And the way Sweet Marks is playing this Bane, it's obviously he has one thing in mind when he has that ult up, and that's
I don't understand it. Yeah. Fun little fact there, which I never knew before. Because generally, I always thought that with at the Alchemist Stun that it could only be targeted on a hero. But the creeps that are spawned through the wall are considered heroes because he was actually able to throw off that stun that he channeled onto an illusion.
Ah, very good.
Now we do see the BKB is very close out for the Alchemist, and you know he's at that kind of phase where he's doing a lot of damage. He has great initiation, he has great sustain, and with this BKB, when he has that up with his ults, he's going to be very hard to stop. And I think we're at that point in the game, kind of where it is anyone's game at the moment. Is the Dire have taken some great initiations there, which is allowing them to kind of pull themselves back into the game. Like even taking a look at the goal difference, it is still huge in the favor of the Radiant, but this is obviously coming by the way of those two, the Midas. But it is coming down towards the Dire now. Looking at the experience, it's a completely different story. It's hugely in the favor of the Dire.
Yeah, I think the heroes are still fairly underfarmed. I mean, Puck is skipping out on his treads for a Blink Dagger, but I think what we're seeing is, although Puck might be caught out here by Invoker, no, it should be okay. Sorry, what we're seeing here is, although the Dire are underfarmed, their fighting team fights better. The Bane is playing excellently. The Ancient Apparition is hitting his ults nearly every time. Great hooks, and then the J-Meister is coming in with the Shadow Blade, and obviously he is the most farmed hero. And Puck is catching quite a lot of heroes. Even though he's dying for it, he's catching heroes. So I think that's been the difference.
Just manages to miss.
That's been the difference. Now I'm not sure how long this will go on. The problem with fighting well but not having the items is you slip up once and you get absolutely creamed.
Is this a Roshan attempt? This is very ballsy.
Yeah, and this is spotted out immediately by the Dire as well.
Is it possible? Was that a bait? That could have been a bait. He has Ghost walked in.
Lifestealer is far too out of position for it to be bait, I think.
Roshan's just happily eating on those Forward Spirits.
Yeah. I mean, you can do Roshan quite quickly with this team, and Forward Spirit's obviously doing a lot, and Lifestealer will do quite a lot as well, but there's, they've obviously warded up, and I think the Radiant know that now because the Dire responded so quickly.
Yeah. And they run the risk is that both teams have great team fight potential, but I kind of feel is that if the Dire gets the drop on the Radiant, if they get a 5-man Dream Caller, if even to get up a couple of silences with that Waning Rift, the Dire comes out stronger in that.
Yeah, and that's what we're seeing. I mean, the Radiant took the early game hands down, and have been ahead on farm ever since. But yeah, just the team fight coming out from the Dire is proving to be a bit too strong. But I think, in fairness to them, it's not just their skills. It's just I honestly think they're fighting better. Their positioning is far better. Their targeting priority is excellent. Specifically the Bane, who's constantly.
Oh, that's an unfortunate hook. He does get a nightmare off on the Abaddon, but I think that's more just to say, hey, get out of our jungle.
Oh, the sun has been charged, and the J-Meister is going on the Invoker. Doesn't have his ult up.
Oh, but does manage to get the ult off, and he does jump up into the air, but the only problem is once that damage is set, is he going to shatter? Oh, this is the team fight indeed, but oh, the J-Meister is going to go down for this.
And then this is the problem when you have one farm hero on the team. If he goes down, you have to get out, because, you know, you can't do anything then.
Taking a look at the build that the Lifestealer has actually gone, he has picked up his Basher first, which I think is the smart choice. Hyperstone is it is a long slog, but once you get it, it's so effective. But getting that Basher up early just means you're far more effective against that Alchemist until the Alchemist gets the answer to that, which is a Basher of his own, really.
Dire's middle tower
yeah, I think Hyperstone into Basher is a good build, because then it obviously transitions nicely into your Assault Cuirass.
Yeah, it kind of depends on what you want to do with that Hyperstone. Is depending on how your kind of game is going, is you have the choice of either getting the Mjolnir up first or the AC. Kind of depends. At the moment, I do feel that the AC is the better pickup, and I can't see them be able to contest this.
No, and we should see with the Forge Spirits now just how fast Roche will go down.
The only problem is he going to shatter? He could possibly shatter to the... Oh, it's after wearing off. And they have popped the Abaddon ult.
Roshan's still not dead
yet.
Yeah.
It's just giving them time to get in. Yeah, we're going to see how this pans out. A blink into a Dream Coil could be huge here.
I like Clockwork's positioning here. He's positioning really, really nicely for the hook.
Here's the initiation. Oh, a great hook. Oh, can they steal the Aegis? And Puck, get the Aegis! Oh, and there we go.
Amazing hook there by Clockwork. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. Positioning was
and he doesn't even lose his life to it. We do see there actually is a Shiva's up on this Darkseer, but that's the team fight they wanted to take there. And we're going to see even the Lifestealer. Oh, not like the Lifestealer. We're going to see this Abaddon go down, and because he's used this ult, he is dead. And even see if they could snipe that little courier there.
Shadowblade down.
Oh, there we go.
Radiance carrier.
Yeah, that's.
Radiance top tower.
Oh, but he goes back in and he's caught. Can they get the Fiend's Grasp? Fiend, is it going to come out? Another follow-up Force Staff would be huge here.
Big misstep there by...
Oh, and he does get it. Just right-click him down.
I was going to say big misstep, and the Brain Staff is the same radius as Fiend's Grip. And he went for the Brain Staff instead of the Fiend's Grip, but it obviously managed to catch me in the end, and that was absolutely huge. A few things there was really, really good. The timing of the initiator. So Puck went in first, big silence, and then a huge hook from the Invoker. So what actually happened was they managed to kill Roshan, and it was a massive vacuum from the Darkseer, which pulled all the heroes away from the Aegis, and that should have let Invoker just pick it up. But Clockwork then had hooked in on the Invoker and cogged and stopped the Invoker from picking up. That's absolutely huge.
Top tower has fallen.
Taking a look at the gold, it's pulling back in the favour of the Radiant, but there still is a huge discrepancy there. But again, the experience is telling a completely different story, and you can see that there's kind of a new lease of life after being breathed into this Dire team. Is they're taking these kills pretty convincingly. We do see the Puck is finally getting his farm up now, and he's going to be able to do a lot more. And that courier, getting a courier in the game, I think it's not so much as it's nice. It is a huge morale boost, and the fact that you're going to be delaying items. So I didn't actually see if there was anything on that, but it was going towards the Lifestealer.
He was going towards the Lifestealer, so yeah, he definitely had something on him.
Can we see the initiation here? No, the Invoker needs to be careful now. With a BKB on this, BKB and an Aegis on this Alchemist, what's an Invoker going to do?
Yeah, and he's level 17, which is the highest level in the game. So
they catch it, and this is a huge initiation. They're going to get, and the wall comes in, that's a huge vacuum, he's catching for them. We do see the BKB coming out, and they just need to stay here, they need to fight. They have an Alchemist who has an Aegis, so they need to be able to take someone down. They need to stop attacking that Abaddon. He's done. You take out this Lion, and this is a huge play. That's good Hex coming out. The fade delay on the Shadowblade was just too long to let the finger to come out, but does that let them to take down that Alchemist? Alchemist just needs to walk away from this now.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
His Shadowblade is enough, but I don't think there's any. His Curse of Avernus
Dire's
is going
structures
to
have been
slow him
fortified.
down. No, they should.
Dire's bottom tower is being attacked.
Oh, and the Alchemist may just pick up a Darkseer for his troubles, but the Darkseer does surge away.
No, you'd be absolutely mad to go in for that.
Dire's bottom
She was
tower
guarding the
is under
Darkseer now. He's
siege.
29 armor. So tanky.
Oh, and they have caught out this poor Clockwork. Could just drop the cogs and try and walk away,
No,
but
he doesn't have the mana for the cogs.
Traps.
Dire's bottom tower
Yeah,
is being
and
attacked.
you were saying that the confidence of the Dire was up, and I think we saw there that they were far too overconfident. Again, diving past tier 1, which is, if you watch the last game, something that
Dire's
really
bottom tower
led
is
to
under
being
attack.
snowballed out.
Dire's bottom tower
Dive
has
past
fallen.
the tier 1 to pick up a line. I mean, it was unfortunate the Nightmare came out at the same time the Stun came out, so the line didn't go down.
Yeah.
But even so, you know, you're not ahead in this game, even though you just took a team fight. You're only winning these team fights because you're fighting them well. You're not in the position to just like go absolutely YOLO.
we're going to see initiation here onto this. Oh, and just got the Dream Goal and the follow-up stun. Oh, unfortunately, he's just taken onto the line. There we go.
Dire's bottom tower
They are going to catch
is
the
under
Invoker as
siege.
well with that.
Tell the ogre you're sorry.
You see, the JJ Meister did go for
Abaddon,
the
crazy out of position here. He's going to be
Oh, he's
Dire's
gonna be fine,
bottom
though.
tower is under attack.
Oh, unfortunately, the early pop stun.
trade.
Check, kind of taking a look at the two builds on the two main carries, we do see the AC is going to be coming out soon for this Lifestealer, and this I suppose is the differences with the Midas. I think the Midas has only just paid for itself now, really, is because, fair enough, he has that extra advantage in the Skull Basher, but when you have the heal coming out from that Alchemist, is unless you're getting constant stuns on that, he can just rip you down to pieces. I think his next pickup really needs to be a Basher on this Alchemist if he wants to stay relevant in this game.
Yeah, at the same time though, I mean, in terms of gold, it's only now picking up, but if you look at the hero levels, Alchemist is 1 level ahead of Lifestealer, despite Lifestealer having 4 kills and Alchemist having 11 kills and 10 assists, and they have the same
Radiant's
amount
bottom
of deaths.
tower is under siege.
So obviously the Midas is pulling Lifestealer up with the Alchemist in terms of levels, which is a big deal as well.
Now, I kind of like... I'm not sure necessarily how it would work out, but kind of how would you feel about a Desolator on a Clockwork?
Radiant's
If he gets an
bottom
initiation
tower
on
has
that,
been denied.
let's say the Lifestealer, and he gets a couple of hits with the Desolator on it, and we do see initiation down here bot. Oh, and unfortunately, he just catch out one, he just needs to stop attacking that. He has been hexed, but a huge hook catching. Oh, and I don't know even how the Invoker got out of those cogs. But John is coming back in, and he's angry. Throws out his...
His stun is up. He can pop ears.
yeah, and he's going to
I think he
catch...
needs to just throw it.
Oh, that's after pushing him down. Can he get the... He does get it off.
Behold!
And that's,
Those
yeah,
people had families.
good fights, but the only problem is the Lifestealer needs to be away
Lifestealer's crazy out of
oh,
position.
and they catch him here.
No, they don't have the mana for the hook, and hook's not even up in here.
I was going to say, would they not get a Desolator, but at the same time, it's completely ludicrous that I'd say that, because they have the Acid Spray, which is, I suppose, like a mini Desolator, AoE Desolator.
Yeah, and even so, I mean, like, Desolator is nice with the minus armor, but you want Desolator on heroes who can do, you know, pretty decent right-click damage, and Clockwork's just not that hero. And Clockwork, at this part, he
Radiant's
just wants
middle tower
utility
is being
items.
attacked.
So, Halberd, I think, would be a great pickup, because, you know, obviously Lifestealer's invitation.
Oh, we may see Jay lose his life here. Anyway. We're going to see the puck go down. Well, that's their 2 carries gone, so the Dire then needs to just back out of here. And Invoker, he's going in. But all the 4 staffs is a little bit too much.
Rock it on.
Yeah, it's been an interesting game. Anytime one side kind of takes the initiative, the other side initiates on them and completely creams them. The problem, I think, that with the Dire is what we've been saying kind of all day, all game really. If the Alchemist goes down, the team goes down. They're so reliant on that Alchemist to do the damage. I mean, great setups and stuff coming out from the other heroes, but really, if the Alchemist goes down, all the setups in the world aren't going to win the team fight.
Dire's middle tower has
Yeah, you can
fallen.
even say that's after losing a tier 3 tower. Oh, and that's a strange initiation from the Clockwork. More than likely, it was just to scare them off a little, just to keep them off those racks.
Yeah, good cogs pushing the Invoker.
Oh, and it's a wall coming in. This is going to catch 2, and the Shivas as well, just keeping them in position. But they do seem to be able to, they can't get away from this. Darkseer does back out. Oh, this is a bit of a preemptive Sunstrike. Would have been lovely if he'd caught the Larendor there, because he would have taken him out. We do see initiation
Dire's
coming in
bottom
possibly
tower
from this
is
puck.
under
He does
siege.
come in, he dropped the Dream Coil, he catches 2.
Back now.
Lifestealer has gone in, he's got oh, he just 2-hit that puck.
Dire's bottom
stun comes out, just
tower
catches
is being
2.
attacked.
And he's doing a lot of damage here to this Invoker. And he does lock out the Bane does lock out this Lifestealer with the Nightmare, so he can follow that up with Feed Scraps if needs be. Oh, are we going to see it? Not enough mana. And this the vacuum has been just pivotal in these team fights. Oh, we do see the lifesteal just go down, but at what cost? We're possibly going to see 2, maybe 3 heroes go down here. Jay still wants the blood. He wants to kill someone here. And a finger coming out. This is the scary thing about a lion is unless you kill him, he's going to turn around. He's going to do a big nuke, especially when your BKB is down. And we're going to see 2 racks go down here. And
it was good work by the J Meister there. He, you know, he went in, got the initiation, and then went down to crazy low health. But he managed to pull himself out of the fight, and it was good. There was a good cogs by the Clockwork to keep him alive, and the crazy regen pretty much brought him right back into the fight. But then, I mean, I think we're getting to the stage now where I was kind of warning about a while ago, whereas you might fight well, but eventually that gold graph is gonna show really. And the Radiant just have too many heroes that can put out the damage, and the Dire only have 1 pretty much in the Alchemist, and I don't think they meant to go for a 4 protect 1 strategy, but this is what it's turning out to be. And an Alchemist isn't going to be able to carry your team up against a Lifestealer and an Evoker who are pretty much at equal farm with them, if not more so.
Yeah, and even taking a look at the net worth at the moment, Alchemist is top, Alchemist is king when it comes to farm, but it's followed by a Lifestealer, then an Invoker, and they're so close to catching that Lifestealer, or that Alchemist. And the 4th hero then is the Darkseer. Darkseer has had a phenomenal game.
He's played.
Yeah, early game he was getting so much harassing. He gave up the first blood, but look at his items. He's pretty scary to deal with. He has his Nagnums up now as well.
Yeah, early game is always going to be tough.
Radiant's middle tower has been denied.
The Dire drafted a really good lane against them. I mean, Darkseer is usually very survivable in lane, but there's not much you could do against that lane. But really great item choices. We saw an early mechanism being picked up. I think that was pretty much his first item. And as we said before on this, an early mechanism is just so useful. Then he went for the Shivas, which is really useful against an Alchemist. Not only does it give you the armor, but it gives you the movement and attack slow, which is really going to hurt the Alchemist.
And we're going to see the Alchemist is going to lose his life here because of this dive.
That should be GG.
Taking a look then just at kind of the builds or the item builds that we have out for the Radiant team. Look at the lockdown they have. They have stun and a hex on the way of the Lion. On the Invoker they have a Scythe of Eyes, so that's 3. They have the Yule Scepter, that's 4. Taking a look then at the Darkseer, he has his Vacuum which keeps people in his place, he has the Wall, he has the Shivas, so I suppose that's pretty much another lockdown. And then you have the Lifestealer, who during all this chaos is bashing, slowing, Valim, just doing so much damage. So their team fight potential went from really good to fantastic.
Just a word as well on that engagement. Talker's gone in, but there's not much you can do now. Just a word on that Yule Scepter by the Invoker. I feel he picked it up very early as well. I'm pretty sure that was his first item after Boots as well, and he's used it so well. He's got himself out of definite kills. He's set up kills with it. I think he's used it really well.
We're kind of seeing the Lifestealer's gone to the stage whereas he can get a rampage if he wants. Oh, and that's a good Yule. Oh, he does infest the creep, and that's a great play. That's good, really thinking on your feet is really well there.
Dire's bottom barracks is being attacked.
We do see though, the only thing is on this courier, are we going to see a Daedalus coming out to this Booker? The Booker is going to lose his life to the J Meister, but I kind of feel it's bittersweet. It's kind of it's too late.
Yeah, I mean, one-on-one Alchemist is I think a little bit more far than Lifestealer, actually quite a lot more far than Lifestealer. But the problem is the rest of his team just haven't kept up. I mean, if you get the net worth up. I mean, Bane is second on the team. Bane was their number 4 or number 5, and he's second in terms of net worth. And yeah, I mean, an Alchemist can't do it on his own really.
Yeah, even though I don't know if the Alchemist nearly caught out that Abaddon there, but great play there. So he actually managed to pop that aphotic shield and just do it actually prevent the stun from coming out. Oh, and that's unfortunate.
That's not the hero you want to go on, Darkseer. Darkseer with his now 33 armor and 201. Sorry,
and he caught 3 heroes there with his Shivas. Jay does turn. Does he have? Oh, there's a lot of damage going ahead here. We do see. Oh, and he actually can hit through those cogs. We see the Fiend's Grasp coming out, and these are the good initiations. But I kind of feel like they needed these about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I mean they were getting them in fairness. but the problem was, I mean, the goal graph was just so far ahead, so far in the Radiant's favor, and you can only take so many great team fights, you know. Unless you completely outskill the other team, you're not going to take the perfect team fight again and again and again. I think that's what we're really saying. I mean, these team fights were great and all, but they weren't going to last.
This is so much chase for one hero.
I will have.
And the patent to J Meister's son.
Maybe a game without it. Oh, that's not so unfortunate. But the whole problem, they were chasing that lion for solid 2 minutes, and just look at their top lane.
Middle tower is being
I
attacked.
think it's GG there for a while.
I wonder was that Invoker who actually set up that yield to try and keep himself safe, but in fact actually stunned himself. And the Jay has gone in for a stun there, but unfortunately it's self.
Just one thing to note actually on Clockwork, I think some really good pickups on him when you're behind. Obviously he's been behind all game, but some really good pickups because, you know, as we were saying, there's two ways you can play Clockwork. You can play him ganky and you can play him team fighting ability. And when you're gone behind, as this Clockwork has, you're not going to be ganking Clockwork, obviously. So you want team fight ability. And what do you want in team fight ability? When you have something like a force staff, which is huge, you go in, you cogs, you force staff yourself out. So it means you set up a fight without dying. Great way of coming back into the fight. A mechanism, obviously, great, keeps your team alive, gives you more armor, and then a blade mail as well, which is obviously, you know, blade mail is going to stop heroes attacking you, or if they do attack you, it's going to do damage to them. So yeah, I think really good awareness by Hela Bakun, who kind of realised that he's behind in this game. He's not gonna you know, kill any heroes one-on-one, and so he built his items accordingly.
Yeah, definitely. And it is the blade mail. It is such a strong pickup, especially as well. If he does catch that lifestealer, like lifestealer is going to attack so fast that he's going to end up. Fair enough, the Clockwork more than likely will go down to them, but he's going to weaken himself sufficiently that the next heroes that come in to do the damage will just pick him off. And we do see now that there are a lot of items coming out by the way of this alchemist. Like I think he might actually be picking up his Mjolnir. Oh, it's a fresh BKB. That's actually another smart choice.
Attempt there. They've smoked in.
There's no way to stop this, even if they did go in.
And the Alchemist is BKB'd for some reason and popped his stun.
Has fallen to the radiant.
Luckily enough, he did use the 4-second one. He still does have a 10-second.
He's going to get caught. He's going to get caught by Abaddon. Abaddon's going to see him.
No, Abaddon just carries on his merry way. But the Clockwork is caught.
You can just cogs and get out. You should be okay. Just pop his cogs soon, though.
Oh,
he hooks for some reason.
I think his logic was that he was going to catch someone and then pull himself out of there, but
yeah.
Oh, and that's he managed to miss the stun.
Huge force dancer. A nice streak, but I think at this point it's just semantics, really.
Yeah, they're really just playing just for fun.
Another great wall of vacuum. Darkseer and Energy was Darkseer playing good game.
Yeah. As you said in the last game, is we do like to keep out man of the match in this game, and 100% it has to go to Serious Sem on this Darkseer. He came out from behind to be one of the fourth most farmed hero on the team, which shouldn't really happen when we consider that there's an Alchemist, Lifestealer and an Invoker, especially two heroes picked up by Midas.
I think I'd also give a shout out to the Invoker. I thought Invoker had an absolutely great game. He was involved in team fights. You know, he took a good lane. He became involved in team fights really early on, and some really good use of the Forged Spirits and the Yule Scepter, and that set up quite a lot of kills for him.
Yeah, definitely. It was a really interesting game to see. It was two kind of similar hero picks, I suppose, did come out, but it just was that the Radiant team's pick did come out a little bit stronger. Is that they had great team fight potential and they made use of it, and it really came out in the end. You can see is that those two picks up on the Midas, well, initially I was hesitant, it really did shine through for them, and it helped them actually to pull through and win this game.
Yeah, I think in terms of picks, the picks were very even. We had a tri lane that was winning top, we had a tri lane that was winning bottom, and then the Invoker won the mid. But I think I don't think the draft on either side won or lost it for the team. I just think the Radiant just played the better game. The Invoker had a great game. The Darkseer, once he stopped getting kind of smashed in the off lane, he started having a great game. The Lifestealer had loads of room to farm, and just heroes like Clockwork and Puck just never got going in this game. I felt they were always behind heroes like Invoker and Darkseer, and I think that's what lost it from the light. The Alchemist was the only player in the Dire side that really was keeping up with anyone, and you can't. You can't win a game like that unless you completely outplay the team. And they did outplay the Radiant in some team fights, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, well, that was another great episode of That's Dota. We watched the guys in the Sekrit Forum as they took on another random team. Unfortunately, in this game they did lose, just to, as we've discussed us there, just to a little bit some better play, really. But thanks so much for joining us. My name is Gus. I was joined again here by Mark. Mark, thanks so much for coming, and hopefully we'll have you again soon.
Cool, thanks.